Hold. Hold. Okay. Oh my god, dude. It's working. Where am I gonna put this window? I'll just close it. Swag. Yes, bro, let's go, dude. It's working. It's twerking. Excuse me. Put my phone on airplane mode. I'm gonna take it off airplane mode so I can call my peeps. Okay.
John Craig.
What up?
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing alright.
That's good.
My exam Friday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Are you locked in?
We'll fucking see, man. We will see.
Swag. I just started streaming. Oh. So, yeah. I also like I don't really even know like why sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I think when I'm like the only one home and I turn off the internet on every other device in my house besides my computer,
Yeah.
then it seems to work. So
There you go.
So that's what we're doing now. So that's why I'm calling you instead of using Discord.
Gotcha.
What are you up to today?
I took a free online test this morning, so I'm reviewing.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I just had the Mud Hens opening day last weekend.
Oh, nice.
And then I worked, you know, like the Frozen Four for hockey? Like it's just like March Madness basically, but for hockey.
Yeah.
Well, there was like the hockey arena that I work at for the Walleye. They were hosting one of like the regional like quarterfinal like regionals for that. So I worked one of those games. But it was like I thought I was gonna be doing like video board stuff, but then I got there and the director, he was like, yeah, we're like super understaffed, so you're gonna be on camera today.
Oh, shit.
But the thing is, like, ESPN was was there, and they were like doing their own broadcasts. So the camera I was on wasn't even like on broadcast. It was just for like getting like fan shots, like in between, like when play would stop and stuff like that. So yeah, I was basically just filming fans the whole time, but it was cool. And it was a good game. Oh, but I forgot, like, I haven't like worked like camera operator stuff in a long time, and I forgot, like, I didn't bring, like, I was wearing my Vans, which are like the same Vans I've had since like freshman year of college. And they kind of just have like no support at all, and I had to just stand the whole time, so I like could barely walk by the end. My feet hurt so bad.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was cool experience. It was crazy because, like, so it was, the game I worked was like the quarterfinal, so the team that won went to the Frozen Four. But we also, on Thursday, we had like the round before that, so there were like 4 teams in the regional, and it was Michigan State was there, which was like the #1 team in the country, and they lost in the first round.
Oh shit.
So the game I worked was Cornell versus Boston University.
Nice.
Not Boston College. They're different,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, I feel like college hockey like teaches you about schools that exist.
Yeah.
Like one of like the actually good teams is like Minnesota St. Cloud or something.
Yeah. Dude, Western Michigan was also in the tournament, but they were on the other side of the bracket. I don't know how they did, but I saw that they got in.
They're usually pretty legit, I think.
I saw someone with a Western jersey on in the crowd. That was the other funny thing, like, one of our like promo timeouts, it was like the college colors cam, so we just had to find people just wearing like any college gear, like of any school.
Yeah.
The crowd was like mostly Cornell, which was kind of surprising, but it was mostly just Cornell, Boston, and then MSU and Michigan was probably like 90% of the shirts.
Yeah.
But there was some other, like, there's a couple Minnesota, there was some like Tennessee for some reason. But I found someone wearing a Kalamazoo College shirt. It was so funny, and I got them to put it up on the board.
Nice.
It was so funny. It was just so random, because like D3 school and we don't even have a hockey team. Plus, like, that's like the Walleyes rival is the Kalamazoo Wings. Like they have like a hockey team in Kalamazoo.
Oh yeah. One of like those like feeder leagues.
Yeah. Well, they're in the same league as the Walleye, so we play them a lot.
Okay.
I was Jesse and I went on this road trip to Wisconsin, and we passed by Kalamazoo on the way there.
Yeah.
And we went to Bell's, for lunch.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the Oberon's out.
Oh yeah, yeah. We went like a month ago, so it wasn't there yet. But I was wearing my walleye jersey, and there was like someone sitting at the table next to us, like giving me a weird look. It was funny.
That is funny. I feel like I'm so mentally fried.
From studying.
Yeah, I'm just like done with it. Like, it just keeps going.
Yeah. Is it like, do you like know most of it, but it's just like refreshing, or is it a lot of stuff that you like are not sure about?
I don't know. It's like a weird balance. There's like a lot of stuff that like I knew at one point, but like haven't really like gone hard into like reviewing it. I think some of it's like the stuff that I like have down and have been like keeping up with. I'm in like a solid spot with it, so it gives me like a nice cushion as far as like, because it's only like pass fail. Which doesn't mean it's not hard, but it just means that like if you're like a certain percentage above passing, it's a lot harder to like commit to like 6 hours of like recovering material.
Right.
And so it's like a weird mixture of like that, and then also just like sometimes getting a question and being like, dude, I have like no idea what they're trying to like say this patient has or get at. And then it's a bunch of like small details that are easy to forget.
Yeah. What time is it on Friday?
8 a.m.
Dang.
Yeah. But it'll be nice. It should be done by like 3 or 4.
Damn.
So I'll have plenty of time to like decompress afterwards and then party or some shit. Who knows? Watch the Minecraft movie that comes out Friday.
I just saw an ad for that for the first time like 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of just looks like a bunch of references to Minecraft. Like, like they're like, oh, like what if we just like do kind of like a Jumanji, but in Minecraft, and instead of like having a story where we have to like get away from stuff, we're just like, this is Minecraft. See this thing? It's in Minecraft.
I'm gonna kill you in Minecraft.
In craft.
There's probably gonna be so many like little Easter eggs like in the background of stuff for like.
Exactly. I can't wait for the Super Smash Bros. Movie, live action movie. If they ever announce that, I'm going to like email them and tell them Brendan's joke about it's not called Super Tilt Bros. That has to be included.
Panther.
Panther. Oh my god, that was so funny. He couldn't even get him to dash. He was trying to get him to dash and he was like slow walking.
That's something that like a lot of people like have trouble with when they first start playing, which like makes no sense to me, but like I guess there's something with the controller maybe that like I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Like, I think some of it can also be you just don't realize what you're doing whenever you're playing.
Yeah.
Grant still had like no reason to be as good as Smash Bros as he was. Like,
He wasn't that good.
no, but like he's still like better than you would think. Like he was like I don't know. Given that he knew like absolutely nothing other than how to play King K. Rool.
Yeah. King K. Rool is just the perfect character for like just
Beginning.
casual player mode
Like,
and just
you don't
goofing
die,
around.
You fall off the edge.
Yeah.
You like, have range. You have a counter, and a bunch of your attacks have whatever it's called, the armor thing, heavy armor or whatever.
Yeah.
So you get like a lot more. Just like room for error.
Yeah.
I do remember though, whenever he only knew how to do, I think he only knew how to do get up attack off ledge. So I just like walk to the ledge, hold shield, you get up attack, I grab him and throw him off the ledge and just do that for like 5 times in a row.
Good times.
Yeah.
I have such a funny replay. I remember like the last time I was at Brendan's house a while back, we like watched a lot of the old replays on my Switch. And one of them was from like the second day of quarantine. I think it was after you left. But it was like me and Grant Anger on a team versus Brendan and Grant Still on a team, and we were all using King K. Rool. And like for the first like minute and a half of this one game, like me and Grant didn't get hit at all. Because we just stood like on this like one of us was on the platform and one of us was under the platform, and we were just shooting the cannonballs and crowns, and like they just couldn't break through. It was so funny.
That's funny.
Optimal strat. Unbeatable. One of my favorite memories too was the tournament we did on Training Trip.
Oh yeah.
And then Brandon 0-to-death me in the final game on the first stock. And I was like, oh shit, and everyone was like, oh. But then I locked in.
Yeah. I remember I got killed by Nick Nerhood. I also made the mistake of playing as Dr. Mario because I wanted to yeet people. But I just died super early because I can't recover as them.
Yeah.
But
dude, I saw this.
Everybody got pissed at Nick and Max for using Hero.
It's unfair. It's RNG.
Oh, that was so funny.
Hero is probably my second favorite character. He's so fun.
Yeah.
But only against like I feel like against someone who's like actually knows what they're doing, I can't really win with hero, because like the whole thing is just not camping, but like keeping them at like mid range,
Yeah.
so you can like shoot lightning bolts at them, like the middle charge lightning bolt. That's like such a good move. But yeah, and then just using menu.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Does your school like have parties at all, or is it more just like chill?
We like technically have like post-exam parties, but they're usually mostly just like socials.
Yeah, you just like hang out.
Yeah. I don't know. There are like some groups of people in our school that like do a decent amount of partying. But I would say like the vast majority of people probably very rarely go out.
Whoa. Yeah, I bet that's in grad school. It's probably more common to just lock in and not go crazy. Do you remember one time we were at like the PhD house like senior year for a party, and I think Luke Middlebrook was on Ox, and we got him to play King of Carrot Flowers Part 2.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that? And then we were just singing, I love you, Jesus Christ.
I do remember that. Which house was the PhD house?
Like Jackson's house and Luke's house.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I do remember that. That was funny. I pissed off a lot of people.
I also remember, yeah, they just stopped it like pretty early on, but because everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
We also played it in the Best Boys Bungalow.
Really?
Yeah, I remember. It was probably with much less people there. But I remember playing that and like yelling at people being like, "What the hell?"
I just remember it at Luke's house because it was like in the middle of a party. And everyone's like, what the hell are you doing?
Such a good album.
I'm so glad I got to do some cringe stuff.
Exactly.
You know, I'm glad I didn't think like, oh, this would be too annoying. Which it was, but I'm glad I didn't think that.
Yeah, I still think that the best joke we ever did was what was it? Eye of the Tiger, but like every note is E. And two people realized it, and it was Armand, who was sober, and then Brooklyn.
Oh my god, that was so funny. That one was good too, cause like no one like noticed at all.
No, I remember telling people the next day, and they were like, "No." And I was like, "Yes."
We have a video.
What the fuck? Because like you don't really notice it at the beginning, because everyone's singing. But like the second verse, no one's singing, and you can like fully hear it. I think that's whenever Armand came, I don't remember if Armand came over right away or like partway through the first verse where he was like, "What's going on?" But I remember like looking over and like Brooklyn suddenly just like paused, like she like stopped dancing and was like, "What the hell?" And like looked over at me and Grand Anchor and we were like dying laughing. Dude, that was so funny. That was such a good joke. Although our best bit was being Brendan French. That was our best bit.
Mm.
We couldn't walk through the doorway. Sorry, can't go through the doorway. I'm too wide.
Max, get out of the way.
Oh my god.
Iconic.
Yeah. And whenever Grant still sat on Molly.
I wish I was there to witness that.
Yeah. I wasn't there for that one either. I was there to witness his like crash out afterwards. It was funny.
That's right.
You were there for his crash out afterwards. Your voice is in the pitch.
Yeah.
Fucking say it.
Ryan Mills.
Oh my god. Yeah, he was on that night.
What a guy. What a guy.
Yeah, there's some fun memories from college.
One of Jesse's friends from Michigan, she swam in high school, and she said she like started going to this master's swim thing recently, so she was trying to recruit me, which I feel like I might go to.
Yeah, you should go back to master swimming.
Yeah. I feel like it would be nice.
I don't know, it always feels so good to like exercise more regularly after like a week or so of doing it.
Yeah.
And I feel like having like a group like with like masters would make it much easier to like do that.
Yeah. Can't wait to get noodle arms. I remember the first day of practice, like fall of senior year at the one outdoor pool. And we did like IM stuff the first day I was there. Because I came like later, like like a week or two after it started. And I just remember I like couldn't swim afterwards because my arms just like didn't, like I was just like flopping my arms around. I wasn't even like pulling the water at all.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel if I swim now. Like I just like can't get it going.
Yeah.
Or like I can for like exactly a 25.
For me too, like I just remember like even like the normal year, like it took me to like training trip or like maybe a little before training trip to actually feel like good during practice, you know?
Yeah.
like it took me so long just to like work up to where I could like actually like do sets and like feel like I accomplished something instead of just like struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird sport.
That was so crazy. Like I remember like the year I popped off, it was like every duel meet up until mid-season I did like so bad. Like I did the 1,000 versus Calvin when they came to Western.
Yeah.
And I died so hard. And I was like, damn, man, I'm like struggling out here.
Yeah.
But then like by the end of the year I was like crushing it. So it just like takes a minute. I think it was probably just like literally just like however long it takes to like build up the muscle, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably just how long it took. Ooh. Did you hear that? Barr. Have you moved into your new place yet, or is that after the exams?
So Sophie's moved in. I'm gonna move like my actual stuff after I take my exam. So yeah, I haven't like completely moved in yet. I still have to move out of my place.
Mm.
But I'm excited. It's like a nice spot.
Is it near like where you go to school, or like where you'll have to work?
No, it's actually a little bit farther. That's the only unfortunate part.
Mm. But it's in a
still,
good.
It's not bad. It's like
a
know.
good spot.
Yeah, I mean, if I can avoid traffic, it's like 20 minutes, but with traffic, you can get up to like 40 to 50 minutes. Although I don't even know how much driving I'll be doing, and also be at like different hospitals too, so it's hard to say anyway.
Right. Dude, I remember, like, I wasn't even there, but, like, that one time when you were playing Minecraft with Grant Still and I guess everyone else, and then you got so mad because they, like, went into the final stage without you or something. That's like the only time I've actually, like, witnessed you get mad at someone.
Yeah. That was a little bit much, probably. I think I don't know. At that point, I was just frustrated with Grant Still in general. And it was just like the straw, the last straw. But it was funny that it was Minecraft of all things.
This Minecraft movie is serious business.
Yeah, he better not fucking take my seat. If he takes my seat or spoils something that happens in a Minecraft movie, it's over for Grant Still.
thing a couple years ago with that guy who was like cheating at speedruns?
Oh yeah.
Dream.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video on it and how like just like a breakdown of the probability. Because the thing is, if he changed odds by like 1%, like no one would have noticed. But he changed it by like 20% or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like crazy, dude. Like, who fucking cares? Like, I don't know. Like I guess his thing was that he was supposed to be like really good at Minecraft, and so like holding the world record like supports that a lot. But like, I don't know, dude. Like,
I feel like Minecraft is kind of like a stupid game to speedrun.
yeah, that's
I don't
also
know.
true. It's kind of.
I guess just because it's
Minecraft.
like a popular game.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really seem like a good speedrunning game.
Yeah.
Dude, I also watched this video recently of like... I don't really watch Smash content that often, but like, just... Honestly, just because it's like... Well, it's not really that interesting to me anymore, and also like, no one's really making Smash content because the game's kind of dead. It's not like totally dead, but it's like not. It's not popping off
right now.
Yeah. But I saw a video recently where like someone like completely like found this new tech for Mii Sword Fighter.
Nice.
And they were like showcasing it, and it was like 30 minutes long. And I didn't really like pay attention to all of it because they were like going through like specific percentages for like how like what percentage things will work at and stuff like that, and I was like, ah, whatever. But it was kind of crazy that like of all characters to get like this crazy new thing. Basically it was just like, it wasn't even that crazy, but they just found out a way to like one of the Mii Sword Fighters up Bs that has like the worst, it's like the worst one for recovering, but it's like really strong if you hit someone with it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's basically just Link's up B, but like stronger, but it goes, it doesn't go as far.
Yeah.
And you can like down throw someone into it at the ledge and kill them at like 40.
That's crazy.
It's insane. And it wasn't just that, it was like there were like some setups into it, like certain ranges where you could do like a down tilt or like a back air into it, and then they showed this like 0 to death string that you could do.
Yeah.
But they were saying like the whole point of it was that like they were saying how a lot of times when new tech comes out for certain characters, it's like insanely difficult to do, but they were like showing like how easy it is to do. And like you just have to practice it a little bit. But it was kind of crazy. It's kind of similar to like the Mii Brawler thing, because Mii Brawler like gained a huge like boost in the tier list when people found out you could like down throw into up B like on a platform and kill off the top. So it was pretty. It was kind of similar to that, but like, um, it was more like off to the side than like off the top.
Gotcha.
I've also been watching videos on this thing that's like, there was like, for the Game Boy Advance, there was this thing called the e-reader, where I don't even know exactly how it works or like how it all plugs into the system, but basically it's like, it's this piece of hardware and you plug it into the GBA and then it like, you can like scan cards on it. And it was used for Pokemon. Like, I think there was like there was some like special event that used it, and then there was also like Pokemon cards that had like the specific thing that you could like scan the Pokemon cards onto your game and like use the Pokemon in your game, which is kind of cool. But it didn't really like catch on, I think, in like most people have never heard of it, but it was this little card swiper thing. But basically, like, I've seen videos of people who have like created their own like custom event, basically. I don't even know how it works, but they like coded something into like their own little card and then they swiped it and like put it in the game.
Oh shit.
And it was so crazy. Like, I saw someone who made like well, I think there's like there's a few really popular ones that are like someone like created their own event for the mythicals in Gen 3 that you can't get, like Jirachi and Deoxys and stuff. But I saw one that someone made recently where they made like outbreaks in Ruby and Sapphire.
That's crazy.
And they had like, if you like talk to this one NPC, they'll give you like a random outbreak, and it'll just be like a Pokemon on a certain route that will like show up like 50% of the time for like an hour, and they'll all have like an egg move, and they'll all have like boosted shiny odds. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, it's crazy that that's even like possible within the code.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit that you can do in like well, one in like Ruby and Sapphire, like there's this glitch where I forget exactly how it works, but it's like the palm egg glitch. Have you heard of it?
I don't think so.
So basically you have a Pokemon in your party at 1 HP, and there's a berry called the palm egg berry, and it makes it so that it like there are like a bunch of berries that do this for each stat, but it basically like decreases your stat like your EVs. If you like put EVs into something but want to take them off, you can like eat a berry. And you use the Pomeg berry, which takes EVs out of your HP. So basically you like knock yourself out basically since you're at 1 HP.
Yeah.
And then you like get into an encounter and it like comes up as like a like this question mark graphic instead of your Pokemon. And then you can like, I forget exactly how to do it, but basically like you just like fuck with the game's memory, and you can like, and then after you do that you can like make your boxes into like basically like a coding interface, so you can like you can like rename your boxes, and like renaming the boxes into certain things will like write code in the game. It's so insane. And there's another one I saw recently too with like what is it? Like in Diamond and Pearl, there's like a similar thing, but well, it's not similar, but it's like it allows you to like create code similarly. And you have to go to this one town that's like early in the game, and there's like you have to get on the mock bike or whatever the equivalent of the mock bike is, like the bike that goes really fast.
Yeah.
And there's like an invisible quadrant in the game, and like basically like the game only loads certain areas depending on which quadrant you're in, but you have to like go in between each quadrant like really fast, like frame perfect inputs, like within like the 4 corners of the quadrants. And if you like do it fast enough, then it'll like, if you drive to the left into one of them, you'll go into like a black screen, but your character will still be on their bike, but you'll just be like biking in darkness.
Oh, that's weird.
And if you like go a certain number of steps in like a certain direction, and then you have to have a Machoke, a Cacturn, and something else in your party, like a Krabby or something. I forget what the third one is, but then you like go like 1,000 steps north and like 300 steps left, and then you just like it's all this stuff that like sounds made up, but then you like see, like you can just look up a tutorial on YouTube how to do it, and there's like a bunch of tutorials. But basically what you do is you like, it's kind of like the same thing, you like corrupt the data somehow, and then it allows you to like write code into like, there's this one app in like the Poke Watch or the Poketch or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like the drawing app or like the pixel art app or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
And you can manipulate the pixels in the pixel art app to like write code. And so I saw someone who made like this event where you can like shiny hunt for Manaphy, because Manaphy normally, like the only way you can shiny hunt for it is like you have to have this Pokemon Ranger game.
Oh, yeah.
And have you heard about this? And you can
heard about the shiny hunt, but I remember the game.
Yeah. So you you have to get a Pokemon Ranger game, and then you can get like this special event Manaphy egg that can be transferred into the Gen 4 games. But the thing is, you can only get one Manaphy egg per cartridge. Like, even if you reset the Ranger game, you can still only get one Manaphy egg. I think there's a way to like hard reset the cartridge somehow, but basically, like, for most people, like, the only way you could shiny hunt Manaphy, and honestly most like mythical Pokemon, you can't even shiny hunt them at all. So like, to be able to shiny hunt Manaphy, even though it's like you have to go through this whole process of like playing this this third-party game and getting this one egg, and then yeah, like the old way of shiny hunting Manaphy, you could get like one egg. Well, I guess you could get multiple, but like you would like start a new file on Diamond and Pearl, and then trade the eggs over to it, and then hatch them, and then if they weren't shiny, you would like turn the game off and trade the eggs to another file, and then you would like restart your file. So you would have to make like a new file on Diamond and Pearl and then trade the eggs over, because it would have to like match, like the way it determines if it's shiny is if it like matches up with your like trainer ID, and then there's like a secret ID too. So you basically just like start a new game for each reset, and it takes like forever. But with this new like hacked, quote unquote, like Manaphy event thing, like someone created an NPC in this Pokemart where if you talk to them, then they'll like randomize your trainer ID and your secret ID. So you just have to have one Manaphy egg and then talk to this person, and it'll randomize your ID, and then you hatch the egg, and then if it's not shiny, then you just do a soft reset, and then you talk, and then when you start the game again, you just talk to the NPC and then hatch the egg. It was so insane.
The people that like figure this stuff out are crazy.
I know, there's like a whole like there's like a shiny hunting community which is like pretty big, but there's like an equally as big, like, it's called like RNG manipulation, and like, well, it's RNG manipulation and just like people who are like tinker with the code and like do all this crazy stuff, and that's like a whole separate community. But yeah, it's crazy. It's like there's a lot of cool YouTube videos on it, and none of it really interests me, because it's like there's some things where like they'll be like, hey, by the way, like, you could like corrupt your game by doing this if you mess it up. And like forever like fuck it up or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty neat.
Dude, I made the mistake yesterday of watching the Jubilee made another one of those like videos. And it was this like doctor influencer guy talking with 20 anti-vaxxers. Dude,
They're
so,
all like,
oh my god. One of them was like a nurse.
oh god.
And she like, I don't know, she like, for what it's worth, she almost had one of the more like reasonable takes. Like there's like it's fair to question like knowing what we know now, whether like vaccinating kids with the COVID vaccine was necessary. But that's like a question where you like say like this is something that should be investigated and like looked into more, not something that you should be like my kids shouldn't be vaccinated. Or like and nobody else's kids should be vaccinated. Like why are we giving the vaccine to the kids type thing. There was one like dad who apparently must have like lost custody of his kids and gotten divorced because like he didn't want his kids to get the vaccine and his wife did, and then they did like a court order where they like sided with the wife and the kids got vaccinated.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then there were like other people that would come and talk about how like all of medicine is bad and it's taking away from like natural medicine which works, and this other medicine is all poison. And like it was rough, and like the doctor was like way too nice. like they did not deserve to have someone that was like willing to actually listen to their points and like agree with like the correct parts of their delusion. Where like they'd be like, oh, like I think that like we have all these problems, and like the medical industry just wants to like treat, but they don't want to cure, and they don't want to like prevent these diseases. They just want to like keep these people like whatever. And he's like, yeah, like it's like a good idea to prevent diseases. Like what do you think vaccines do? He's like, they don't prevent diseases, and then starts like talking about other stuff. And it's like you gotta like I don't know, you gotta like hammer that home. Like if your point is prevention, like this, and like yes, like there are times where science says that like natural things are good, but like I don't know, it's just like a fundamental misunderstanding of what science is like at all. Like it's just observation of what's happening. And,
yeah.
like I don't know. Like one of the person that was talking about all like the natural stuff, they like interviewed him at the end. He's like, I think I started to change his mind on some of this stuff. It's like, no, you didn't. Like he was already like, yeah, we should like not have like shit tons of processed food for sale. Like we should have like more like healthier food whenever possible, and like like but he's not saying like, oh yeah, like actually they're taking away all of our like cures. Like it used to be you could treat this problem with like fucking apricot seeds and now like you can't. And there was somebody else who like was having like a manic episode or something. She just started talking about how like God is the vaccine, and that if we don't all get the vaccine of God, we're gonna go to hell. Nice. It's like, okay, like fine, you believe that. Like what does that have to do with vaccines? Like, why are you anti-vaccine? Like what's going on?
I saw this bit of like this stand-up comedian who was like, yeah, I wasn't sure about the vaccine, so I decided to do my own research. And now I have a medical degree. And he's like, did this whole bit about like doing your own research, and then you like fall down a rabbit hole where you like go to medical school.
That's one of the things also like
it's like whenever
it ticks me off, and it's not something that like I'll like bring up to patients because like immediately I think it's like really paternalistic or whatever, but like anytime somebody says they did their research, like no, you didn't. Like if you were saying you did your own research, you did not do research. You Googled, you went on forums, and you went on like Twitter or like Truth Social or whatever. That's not research.
You found something from somewhere that reciprocates what you want to believe.
Exactly. Like research is, I would say like the fastest you could do research in is like a month of like at least 40-hour work weeks. Where you are you have to already be trained in how to like read medical papers. You have to have access to medical papers. You have to know how to search for and like include versus exclude with like a predetermined reason, like different medical papers, and then be able to assess the validity of each of them, and then know how to use biostats to aggregate the data. like you have to like, if you're actually doing research and you're not doing any like primary research of like clinical work or like bench work or like surveys or like whatever, then like the like highest level of research you can do is like a review of literature, which like they're not doing.
Yeah.
And they're like sifting through forums or like going on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's like just call it like, just say you looked it up or you looked into it or you like read about it online. But it's like, oh, I did my own research. Like it like puts it on the same level of people that have dedicated their lives to becoming experts in like specific areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a pet peeve. What you're actually supposed to say whenever they're like, oh, I did my own research, you're supposed to go like, oh, like, can you show me some of that? Like, I'm interested in what you found and like what it said. And then they're like, yeah, I'll send you a website. Oh, that's great. Lovely.
I'm looking to replicate your experience.
Exactly.
Or your experiment.
Yeah. It's just tough. And then like, I don't know, everybody likes to get on the whole like, oh, like, they also all like, I'll say these things that are only partially true. Like they're like, oh, like Dr. Fauci came out and said like, actually like, they like the masks don't work, and that like it doesn't prevent the spread of respiratory illnesses. And it's like, no, like it does, but like the cloth masks that we wore didn't work. Like that's what he was saying. Or like the only stuff that works is like N95 and above. Like the legitimately like lab graded level and prevent like respiratory, or like at the very least like decrease respiratory stuff. But it's like we didn't know at the time, so you can't be like, oh, they lied to us. It's like, no, they played it safe, which I think is reasonable.
Yeah.
And like nobody's saying you have to wear masks now.
Yeah.
So like, it's a weird hill to die on.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a little weird trying to like put like Bill Burr on a pedestal or whatever, but like his reaction to like all this stuff and like the way he like talks about a lot of things is like kind of the way that it's like, that's how like how people should react if it's to something that's like not in their like specialty. It's like oh, like, you know, like these people are saying this, like these people spent their whole lives trying to focus on like learning this, and like the experts in this area are all like, they're like almost all saying the same thing. Like, I'm just a guy. Like for him, he's like, I just write jokes. Like, why would I somehow like know more or like see something that like slipped through the cracks? Or like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And then the other thing is like, in order to engage with somebody honestly, I think that you often end up giving up like too much ground because they're not engaging in good faith and like you are. So like he would regularly be like, yeah, like he'd be like, I didn't really like the saying like trust the science, which I think is like kind of fair. He talks about how like science can be wrong and how like science is all about like being skeptical, which I think in like a one-on-one conversation is like helpful stuff to say, but on like a broadcasted like thing where like no one's gonna be willing to give an inch or whatever, like it's like not as helpful. And like he talked about how like science like changes and how like medical practices will change and how we'll learn about things that we do now like aren't as good as things that we like will do later. But it's like, I don't know, I think people hear that sometimes, and if they're like already inclined to not believe in science, that they're like, oh, like that means that like I don't have to pay attention to this. Like that, like whatever I say can be true because science can be wrong.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was it frustrated me quite a bit.
Yeah. It's just interesting how, like, of all the things that, like our healthcare system and, like, the pharmaceutical industry, like, there are some messed up things, like, behind the scenes, like, all the, like, for-profit stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there is stuff there to, like, be upset about, for sure, but like choosing vaccines to be the thing that gets people upset is like so.
Yeah, the stuff that's covered for free.
Yeah, like
the stuff that like you didn't even need insurance during the COVID pandemic to get a COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, like they're just doing this to make money. Like they're just saying this so they can make more money. And it's like, there are times where, also these are the people that are going to support like privatization and like health insurance and like all this other stuff. Like they're going to be like like nationalization of healthcare. They're going to be like anti-removing profit in like healthcare mechanisms or whatever. So
yeah.
like, I don't even get how that can be your talking point, is that like you can't trust it because you follow the money. Like, let's remove the money. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, actually, no, never mind. No. People that make money should be able to get coverage, but people that don't make money shouldn't be able to get whatever, like, medical treatment they need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, of course, there was, like, one or two that were, like, adamant about the fact that like vaccines cause autism, which is like, I don't know if you've ever seen the initial study for that.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the most infuriating things in the world.
I watched like the H bomber guy video on it.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
I don't think I have.
He has like, it's probably like an hour and a half, but it's like a deep dive into that study.
Yeah. I mean, like you like already know that like you're like, oh, like it's a study, like it's like very like even without like reading about it, like it's a poorly done design study. Like there's obvious flaws in it. But like my understanding up until that point of like actually like reading it was that it's a study that was like, oh, like here's the rates of like vaccinations and here's the rate of like autism diagnosis. Oh, see how they both go up? See how they're like correlated? And I was like, oh, it's just like a study that does a bad job of like correlation versus causation. But it, like, no, it was like horrible on like 20 different levels.
Yeah.
Because it was some like GI doctor who was investigating something that had nothing to do with vaccines.
Yeah.
In like 8 patients or something, 8 pediatric patients, noticed that like 5 of them, I think, had autism. And instead of doing like the semi-reasonable thing of being like, oh, like that's kind of crazy, like over half of the kids with this medical condition receiving this like treatment have autism, maybe we should investigate like this medical condition or like this treatment and their like associations with autism. He goes, no, all these kids are also vaccinated, which probably has nothing to do with the fact that they're all regularly receiving medical attention because they have a medical condition. And so he like takes that study and goes, actually, because of this, I'm going to do now a new study, which is like you're not allowed to do that. You have to say what you're studying before you start looking at anything.
Yeah.
and then he like went and got for his control group. He went to his son's birthday party, and then asked them if they were vaccinated and if they had autism. And I guess his son was friends with a bunch of like anti-vax kids or whatever. And so his son wasn't friends with any kids with autism. And so he was like, oh wow, look at this. Like, these kids aren't vaccinated because we're in some like hippie area or whatever. And they don't have autism because my son doesn't like kids who have autism and doesn't invite them to his birthday party. So clearly this must mean, given my like N of like 8, that vaccines cause autism definitively.
That's so insane.
And like made a career out of it. And for whatever reason, the journal was like, oh, interesting, and like didn't actually look at if this was like remotely decent science. And honestly, if he never publishes that paper, I don't know that we get the same level of like COVID vaccine denial. You probably still get like, it's probably much more of like, oh, like it probably would have been much more stress on whether or not like the virus came out of a lab as like the politicization of it, rather than like, oh, like don't get this vaccine, it's gonna kill you and give you autism. Like that dude is single-handedly responsible for probably hundreds of thousands of deaths.
Yeah.
At this point, like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't really remember that much from the H-Bomber guy video, but I remember, like, the guy, like, afterwards, he went on this whole, like, tour, basically, and he was, like, promoting his book, and, like, gaining, like, this cult following, basically, of, like, this study that was, like, complete bullshit.
Yeah.
And didn't he also, like
fully just monetize?
Didn't he also, like, abuse the kids? Like, didn't he give them, like, colonoscopies that were, like, not, like, I don't remember the exact details, but he, like, he did some fucked up shit, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't know the details of that stuff. I don't know if that was just what he was investigating or something, or if he was doing stuff that was, like, completely unnecessary. It sucks that there's like extremely valid reasons to be questionable of like certain aspects of like the healthcare system and the pharmaceutical industry and like insurance.
Yeah.
And then like the stuff that is like the most grounded in like the most backed, the most solid is the stuff that's like getting like questioned the most, and not the stuff that like you can just like, it's like not transparent. They like don't publish anything, like all like the like what goes on like money wise behind the scenes is like, I don't know, it's annoying.
Yeah, and also just like it's so funny how like the whole like microchip conspiracy theory is a thing, but then like Elon Musk like actually wants to put a microchip in your brain.
Yes, yeah.
It's so funny.
Like, hell yeah, like this guy rocks. I can't wait to have fucking Google in my brain instead of in my pocket.
Yeah.
It's also just like the like dumbification of like the human race by like outsourcing thinking. like all the people that are like Twitter's a cesspool because people will reply and just be like, Grok says this. It's like, dude, what does your brain say? Like, why are you asking Grok what to think about something? Why aren't you just being like, I think this. Like, it'll be on something like it'll be like like artwork or like somebody's opinion on a movie, and like somebody will probably like, Grok says this. It's like, I don't care. Like, why would I care what a language model says?
I saw this video too recently of like how Google is just unusable now.
It's so bad.
Like someone like there was like a Reddit post that was like, oh, I was curious about the new or they're saying they saw John Wick 4, and they were like, oh, I was curious like whether or not they're making a fifth one, so I googled John Wick 5, and then they showed a screenshot of like the page, and like it was like a bunch, like all the image results were like AI, and then all like the like, you know how there's like relevant information on the side sometimes, like it had like the director, it had like all this details about the movie, but the movie doesn't even exist, and it's not even like planned to, like it's not even, there was like one article he found at like the bottom of the page that was actually from like a real source, and that said like the movie is anticipated to be in development soon, but nothing has officially been announced yet. But like the whole like first page, like before you even scroll anywhere, it's all just like AI slop and like links to fake YouTube trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
And like also in the same video they just showed like Google Images, and like if you Google baby peacock, which was just the example they showed, but they Googled baby peacock and it was like 7 of the first 10 results were AI. And like the way to like get around that on Google Images is just to like put the filter before 2022 onto your search. But and then all the like the Google AI result thing, they were showing examples of just like how it just gives you wrong information sometimes. And there was one that was like cheese on pizza not sticking, and one of the one of
glue.
Yeah.
It was
said use
quoting
glue.
some like person on Reddit named like Butt Farmer.
Did
I was
you
like, this is awesome. I love that like
yeah.
AI has the same illiteracy as like our population, and being able to determine if something's like a joke or not.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I would hate being like an English teacher, like in high school.
Horrific.
It's probably like half the stuff you guys just chat GPT.
Yeah. I had a friend who was using ChatGPT to write like a required essay that we had to submit that like was graded on participation or whatever. And he like told it to like dumb it down so it wouldn't use like ridiculous words, and so it added in it, like it added a sentence that was like, I may not be the smartest in the class. Like, yeah, dude, that's exactly how like try and portray that like this paper isn't like the smart. Like, come on, dude.
Make me sound stupid.
I know what stupid people do. They call themselves stupid. All the time.
I may not be the brightest bulb in the box. That's so funny.
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty stupid. Yeah, I'm pretty dumb. I'm pretty much a dummy.
Did you watch the Michigan basketball game the other day?
Yeah, I did. It was unfortunate.
I know, it was like such a good game up until like halfway through the second half, and then they just like stopped Michigan from scoring like the whole rest of the game.
Yeah. I don't particularly like complaining about the refs, and I don't think the refs are why they lost, but it was frustrating that like the game was like physical the whole time, and they were letting them play physical the whole time, and then all of a sudden they call like 5 fouls on one possession against Michigan, like with like maybe like one of them being like reasonable. And then, like, one of them was, like, literally, like, it would have been a breakaway dunk for Michigan to, like, fend off the run. And they just, like, called it off of, like, literally nothing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But there goes, like, all the momentum. Like, any chance of, like, stealing back momentum in this game is gone.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy though that like all the 1 seeds made it. Like that's insane.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy.
And I saw some like there was some like column, or maybe it was just like a headline that I saw, like because there was only like one like 10 seed maybe that made it to the Sweet 16, and the rest were like 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s basically.
Yeah.
But I saw something that was like, the transfer portal is ruining March Madness. Like, and it's like, no, it's just like, it's like coin flips. Like, sometimes you're gonna get a year where like the best team, like all the best teams don't lose.
Yeah.
Like, it's just probability. Like most, like 90.
Trying to point to like this specific season is like, I don't know. I think there's other parts of the transfer portal. Like, I do think that it'd probably be good to like limit people that transfer like 4 times in 4 years. Like, that's not good for like anything. But the way to like actually do that would be to have contracts.
Yeah. And like they were saying like personally I don't really even know that much about the transfer portal, but like they were basically like insinuating that like the competitiveness of the game is like bad because all the best teams won, and it's like, okay, like
Yeah,
this is
like
the
that's
first time
the
that
opposite
this
case.
is like the second time ever that all the one seeds made it to the final four. It's like not,
Yeah,
if it happened like, if the same thing happened like 5 years in a row and it was like the same four teams in the final four every year, then you could talk about it.
yeah,
But like it's just an anomaly. Like it's not, it's basic probability.
yeah,
But you're right. Like with all like there's just something like weird about college sports now, just with all the
well, it's also
like
the
sports
like
betting and like NIL
still,
stuff, and just like
yeah,
it's good that like athletes are getting paid their fair
yeah,
share. Like that's a good thing, but I feel like it definitely can create some other problems for sure.
yeah. Yeah, well, and, like part of it is because like all the fucking like people that were living off of the bloat like prior are like doing everything they can so that they're not giving up their like wealth, and so they're like, well, if we have to pay the players and we have to pay like all these people that do nothing, we have to figure out like some way to get the extra money. So it's just like extracting it from like the fans. And so like stuff's getting more expensive, there's like more ads, there's more like the actual like quality of like the product is worsening.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like it still is like generally like good. Like I still like enjoy watching college sports. So like I can't like say that the sky is falling or whatever, but
Yeah, exactly.
it's like it's lost some of its like charm, I think.
Mm.
And I don't place the blame on the fact that they're paying players now.
Yeah.
That's not the reason.
Yeah. There was an ad at the hockey game the other day, and it was like 1 in 3 athletes experience harassment because of
Oh,
sports
yeah.
bets.
And then like the next ad is like, are you trying
DraftKings.
to make more money on DraftKings?
But that is wild, like going into like a 20-year-old kid's DMs and being like, you should kill yourself
Yeah.
because you didn't score 8 points. You scored 7.
And I bet you for the over for points. For part of my like 18-way parlay that I put $50 on. And yeah, sure, I lost it because of like 4 other parts of the parlay, but like you were part of it. Like it's just it's embarrassing behavior, but it's also fully like encouraged and pushed by like trying to make ridiculous amounts of money and like being okay if people's lives are ruined because of it.
Yeah. And like, unless there's like some legitimate like crackdown on it and it like becomes banned again, like nothing's gonna happen, because like it makes like the more people are betting on sports, the more people are gonna watch like meaningless games.
Yeah.
Like Wizards and Hornets you know,
Yeah.
like no one's watching that except people who have money on it.
Yeah. That's where all the dummies think they can, like, beat the system.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like, they don't know how to properly rate the Hornets because nobody watches the Hornets. It's like, no, dude, there's like 5 people who watch the Hornets and they set the fucking Vegas line. You're not beating the system. Like
Michael Jordan owns them. You think he doesn't know about gambling?
Yeah. I've thought about, like, putting together an Excel sheet and then, like, writing down what bets I would make and then seeing, like, if I would, like, profit from it or not. And, like, expecting to, like, not get anything correct pretty much. But it's too much effort to even, like, run that little experiment.
Yeah. I saw this account on Instagram that was like $1 to $1 million challenge.
Yeah.
Have you seen this? And it was like, it was just this guy and he makes like 2 or 3 bets every day, but he puts like 10 cents on stuff and just going like so incrementally. But the last time I saw one of his videos, he was at like $300 or something, and he was probably like a year into it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you like bet any faster than that, you just lose it on a single bet, and then you're like, well.
Yeah. And I think he was like increasing how much he bet on stuff, like he was probably doing like a couple dollars, but
Yeah.
he was still just going like such small increments.
Yeah.
And he was also just going on like safe bets, kind of like nothing like crazy.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know, like the 20-way parlays. Where you're like, oh, I only bet $8, but if I win, I make 32,000. So yeah, dude, you're not gonna win. You just spent $8.
I remember I think it was 2023, someone did a parlay of like all the, it was like a 4-way parlay, but they bet like
just
the championships.
Yeah.
And they got like all of them right, but then like, or maybe they got 2 of them right, but then, and then they had like the Rangers winning the World Series, but they like cashed it out after like game 2 because they were too scared.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
But the Rangers ended up winning, so.
I didn't think it's a smart decision at that point to cash out.
Yeah, but it was up to like, I forget how much they bet, but at the time it was like a couple $1,000, and they bet maybe like $100 or something.
Yeah.
turn off the Wi-Fi and everything so I'm not even checking my phone, like, or checking the stream on my phone like I did before. So I have no idea who even is in chat. Well, or no, I have the chat pulled up, but I have no idea like how many people have watched, but no one's typed anything. So I don't think very many people, but that's okay.
Yeah. Just a chill stream.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just glad that it's working. That's all I care about.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab some lunch.
Alright. Well,
It's nice talking to you.
yeah, nice to talk to you.
I'll probably be up in, not a week, but a week and a half, 2 weeks. Maybe call next, not this weekend, but next weekend. I'll let you know if when I get the plane tickets and get that solidified.
Yeah, just let me know like what dates you're thinking of.
Yeah, I will. Hey,
Swag.
good luck, shiny. Whoa! Almost shiny Pikachu.
I would have been so mad. I just ran into one. Psych.
Where's the shot? Where's the shot?
Yeah.
See you, John Crane.
See ya. God, I fucking hate him. No, I love him. That's my friend. That's my friend. Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you were on speakerphone, but you weren't.
Yo.
Yo. What up?
Are you streaming right now?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Are you at work?
Yeah.
Are you trying to keep your voice down?
I'm really at the office right now.
Oh, nice. Are you like, are you just heading home or are you like getting lunch?
No, I'm stepping out to talk to you.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah. No, I got... Yeah,
outside now, so I can speak freely without any nerds. But you got me for like 15 minutes maybe. I gotta go. I have a meeting at 1 my time.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm just
Hell
streaming,
yeah. No,
so.
This is what I wanted. I'm a star. People.
You're a
tuning
star
in.
on the silver screen.
I know, right? How's that going? What number are you at?
18,080.
Damn. That seems above odds.
No, it's like not even halfway yet.
18,000?
Oh no, 1,800.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I was like, bro.
Yeah, no.
3 years, Jesus.
Just 1,800. No.
Yeah.
4,000 is like odds, basically.
Okay.
So I'm like a little under halfway.
Rock on.
Yeah.
So what method are you using this time? Is it like just the random spawn one?
Yeah, so basically how it works is like there's like stuff that will spawn in the overworld that'll be like running around. So there's
Right.
Pikachu, Electrike, Meowth, etc.
The Electric are dangerous. They fucking
I know, they're
gotta
so annoying.
dodge those dudes.
They're so annoying. But so basically in the Pokédex it will like show you how many, if you like go to a Pokemon's entry, it'll like show you how many you've knocked out or how many you've battled.
Right.
And if you've battled or no, it's knocked out. So if you've knocked out 500, then it'll give you like the maximum odds for like
That Pokemon specifically?
yeah, but the thing is like it only, so the boosted shiny odds only apply to brilliant Pokemon, you know, the ones with like the yellow light around them. You know what I'm talking about?
I like know, but I don't know what it means. I've like seen that before.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like, so whenever you see something with like the like yellow light around it in the overworld, it's like, it's called a brilliant. And basically like if you catch it, it like guarantees that it'll have like an egg move, so it'll have like a move that it wouldn't normally learn by level up. So the Pikachu ones, a lot of them that I've run into have had fake out, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so, and they also have boosted shiny odds. So so the brilliants, when you run into them, they'll have like a 1 in, I think it's like 1 in 480 something chance of being shiny. But the problem is like they only show up 3% of the time. So like I think if you like do the math, it's not even that much more than like I'm just running into, yeah, like I'm just running into every single Pikachu I see, and if it happens to be the brilliant one, then I'll just run into that one too. But I'm just encountering every single one basically.
That's what I like about this series, is that there's so many like mechanics and features that I didn't even know about. Like not even like just the shiny hunting stuff, but like whatever you did for that Typhlosion in the Lola, I was like, what the heck? Like I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
This is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten lucky in terms of like getting like different things to do, you know, like each one has had like a different game. Like I've found them in different games and like different methods and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. And yeah, this one, the Typhlosia one, I like didn't know about until I like researched it, and then this one I also didn't really know anything about it. So.
And you're gonna have to do the DLC, right, in order to get the Gigantamax form?
Yeah. So, I haven't even actually like beaten the game yet. So once I get Pikachu, I'm gonna like add Pikachu to my team. even though it's like the mono normal team, I'll just use Pikachu also.
Yeah, I don't know. I played Sword, I think, a year or two ago, and like it was fun. Like the wild areas were like neat, and yeah, like real world encounters was like a step in the right direction. What I think a lot of the fans want like the games to go to, but also it was so easy to beat. And like, granted, this is like I was like what 24, 25 when I was playing it, so it's not meant for us. But it's like it was still fun though. But that's like, you're gonna have to let me know how the DLC is, because I've been debating buying it. But then like I was just like, like I don't want to spend, $40 or whatever on something that I'm just gonna like blaze through and like isn't even gonna be fun. So
Yeah, totally.
I want a full report.
Yeah. So yeah, because I need like, there's like, I need to like feed Pikachu something that like lets it get its Gigantamax form, but you can only get that in like the DLC, which is kind of annoying.
I thought that was so dumb, where it's just like, I was all excited, like, I mean, we talked about it before, but like, yeah, they're literally gatekeeping their new mechanic, where it's just like, oh, okay, I just have a massive, Pikachu for 3 turns. Like, woohoo. It doesn't even look different. And honestly, I think that Gigantamax is probably my least favorite, like, new thing. Like, well, granted, I haven't played Scarlet, so I don't really know the terrestrialized thing or whatever, but I much preferred Z-moves and Megas to Gigantamax.
Yeah, me too. It feels like Gigantamax could have just been like, they could have just added new Megas instead of like,
Right?
I mean, it is what it is, but
I've been seeing all the quote-unquote leaks for ZA and like what Pokemon are gonna get Megas and like who isn't and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, I'm excited to. Have they actually like confirmed? Oh, they've confirmed that Megas are in the game, so
Megas
they
are
have
back
to.
for sure, yeah.
They have to
I
add some new
assume
ones.
they're gonna give
There's no
at
way
least a
they won't.
handful.
Yeah.
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 But I think I saw like Dragonite was on a list, that would be cool. And then people were all upset because Flygon isn't on any lists, and they're just like, give Flygon justice.
Yeah, I feel like they'll probably give them to like some of the Gen 6 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Gen 6 came out, like they didn't give any Megas to them because it was like they wanted to give the Megas only to the older Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they'll.
Like, I think they're gonna give the Kalos starters all Megas.
That would be sweet.
It kind of was whack that like the starters of a region with a new mechanic weren't even able to use that new mechanic. But I think everybody was so obsessed with like the Gen 1ers being like, oh my god, like Mega Blastoise. Nobody gave a fuck.
And then they gave 2 to Charizard for some reason.
Dude, I'm all for Charizard Z. Let it happen.
Yeah, but where's Mega Venusaur X and where's Mega Blastoise X?
I think I agree that it's dumb that Charizard got 2. At this point, I'm just like memeing into it, and I'm just like, give him 6, like go for it. Like you should get a Mega for like every single type. But it's like, I think if we give other Pokemon multiple Megas, that will definitely, I feel like it defeats the purpose. Or would that make it cooler? And you could like choose, maybe if they didn't separate it by like the actual games itself, but it's just like, oh, like I'm imagining like choosing between like a Politoed or a Poliwrath, right? You like use a certain item or level it up or whatever, but it's like, if you could like choose to do that with Megas, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, they did a Mega Mewtwo X and Y too.
That is true. But like, yeah, I don't know.
I love Mega Charizard X is like one of my favorite Megas though.
Yeah, I got Y because I wanted elemental, which I guess it doesn't really matter. But like high school me was like, I ain't using a fairy.
I ain't using no fairy type Pokemon.
I know, right? It's conservative Pokemon, no fairy types allowed. But it was like, yeah, I got Mewtwo because I thought he looked cooler. But then I do wish I would have gotten X, because like Mega Charizard Y was cool, but Mega Charizard X is definitely way cooler. And like, did you ever see like, I don't think, is it Pokemon Origins? It's like the miniseries with Red.
Yeah, like the little
Yeah, and then
animated thing.
Yeah, and it like goes through him like becoming the champion and Giovanni like and all that stuff. But then like the very last episode, he like gets Mewtwo, and it's like he like doesn't even need to Mega Evolve, but like his Charizard Mega Evolves to Mega Charizard X, and then like they meet and catch Mewtwo. And when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, that's so cool. I should have gotten X.
I have to rewatch that.
Yeah, that's like.
I kind of didn't they make a bunch of them because it was like the 20th anniversary of Pokemon.
There's been all sorts of. I see it on socials. I feel like in the past like 5 years, but then there's been so many cool like Pokemon like short anime releases, or like they've been doing collabs I've seen as of late with like famous anime like artists, animators who I like don't really know, but it like looks really cool. And I grew up watching the Pokemon anime for sure, and then I like didn't watch it consistently probably after Sinnoh. I'd see episodes here and there. Just as I got older, I didn't watch it, on a regular basis. And then I did watch, not live, but like on YouTube or whatever, after the fact, like the Masters tournament where Ash actually became like the Pokemon World Champion. That was freaking legendary. But then, like since then, I feel like there's been so many, just like short story or like 4 or 5 episode arc of like really cool different anime styles, different characters, like Pokemon Origins, like there's the Pokemon Resort thing on Netflix. That looked fun. I didn't watch it, but I feel like they've been releasing so much more stuff that I want to watch, but just like haven't because I don't know where to find it, and there's so much of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to watch like the OG Pokemon movies.
Dude.
I haven't really seen those, but I just like I always see like clips of them and how they're like so iconic.
Yeah, I would totally rewatch those because that's one of the things where it's just like I know I've seen them, but I also haven't seen them in probably like 15 plus years, and so just to rewatch it would be such a trip and probably so cool.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know where to find them.
I feel like
have to bootleg them.
Yeah. I feel like I've watched the one with Shaman. Maybe. I feel like I saw one of them with Shaman back in the day.
One, that's where like Giratina, Palkia, and Dialga like all fight each other, and Arceus comes in and just like blows shit up, right?
I don't really remember, to be honest. I just remember Shaman was in it.
I do remember a movie. I think that might be the same one. It might be different, but I do remember a movie where like Arceus comes, and I was like, oh my god, like. Like God is real. Like he's come to like.
I need to repent.
It's like a child existential crisis. But I do. My favorite was I'll never forget. I think it's the third one where with Entei and he's like making the wishes for the girl and stuff, and then freaking like Ash is falling off the castle or tower or whatever, and Charizard like swoops in and saves the day. And it's like Charizard versus Entei. I remember that solidified Charizard as my favorite Pokemon, which I know is like very stereotypical, but I was like, how can you not love this? I was so hyped when that happened.
I remember Entei was my first favorite Pokemon in like 5th grade.
Oh yeah?
Because I got a Entei card.
Oh nice, yeah,
I was like, this is sick.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I do. Of the beasts, Entei's pretty sick. Well, have you played any of the Pokemon Ranger games?
Yeah, I used to have the Legends of Almia one.
Yeah. So, did you ever play Guardian Signs, the one after it?
No, I just played the one, and I don't have it anymore because my dog ate it.
Oh no.
It was so sad because I left like a bunch of my DS games on like one of my lower shelves in my room, and then like I came home from school one day and then the Ranger game was just all chewed up on the ground. I was like, no. But I got so lucky because it was like all my games were there, and it was right next to like my Pokemon Black version that had like all my Pokemon on it. So I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, fair enough. But in Guardian Signs, I guess that's like the most recent Pokemon Ranger release. You can ride Entei, Raikou, Suicune, and like a bunch of other legendaries. It's pretty sick.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's like like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is one of my favorite series of all time, and like Pokemon Ranger is hype too. And that's I guess they did Mystery Dungeon DX and like remastered it for Switch, and I got that. But then like I just think those are so cool, like off-brand, not off-brand, but like
The
like
spin-off.
not mainstream Pokemon. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I feel like they could do they should like give it some more love, especially now that like graphics are better, and like I feel like you could do like a Breath of the Wild style like Ranger game. I think that like open world Pokemon Ranger, that'd be so sick.
Dude, that would be crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
But
That would be sick. Yeah, I remember I really liked the Ranger game, but I remember it was like really hard. Like
yeah, dude, infuriating.
I remember I got stuck on the one. I don't know if you played the one, but it was yeah. Yeah, I got stuck on Rampardos forever.
I probably put the game down for a solid few months, and then I think it was somebody at school. This might have still been middle school. I don't remember, but I was like talking to somebody at school, and the trick was that when he made like the rocks fall, he would make the rocks fall for like 30 seconds, and you weren't able to loop them while the rocks were falling without taking damage.
Yeah.
But the rocks would fall like every 3 seconds. And so you'd wait for a rock to fall and break, and then do a quick loop, a rock to fall, break, do like literally one loop. And that didn't really give him any like increases like friendship, but it prevented the friendship from going down, like the meter from the depleting while he was making the rocks fall.
Yeah, I think I figured it out eventually. Like
Yeah.
I don't remember if I had to look up like a guide, but yeah, I remember the first time I played through the game, I like basically quit when I got to that point, and then like
Yeah.
a while later I like restarted the game, and then I like got to that point again, and it took me forever, but
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Those are good games. I want to replay those. Shoot.
I love like the little like when you got, you like catch Pokemon and they follow you, but then you have like your special, like extra special friends that like don't go away ever.
Yeah.
Like the little partners.
Yeah, and you could you would do different like side quests. You could like change your partners.
Yeah. That game was so fire.
It was. I remember I had a Turtwig. And like, they were like, the first 3 you could choose from were like Starly, like Wingull, and like Shellos or something. They like weren't like
Yeah, I think
anything like special, you know? But I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I think Starly was my first one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But then I remember you could get like a Krogant, you could get a Cranidos, you could get like a bunch of other.
Yeah.
And like, just the application of like using them to like break stuff and cut down stuff and like put out fires and all that kind of stuff. They really are good games.
Yeah.
Okay. Pokemon Ranger. They made a movie with a Pokemon Ranger in it too. It was the one with Manaphy, I think.
Hmm.
I don't remember what it was called, but like the ranger like was a character in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How was your parents just visited?
Yeah, well, my sister left today, and my mom and dad leave tomorrow.
Oh, they're still
Nice
there.
long weekend. Yep. It was very good.
Nice.
Got to celebrate the birthday like all weekend basically, and ball out to go to some fancy restaurants I wanted to try, and took him to Sedona Saturday, and then we went to the Grand Canyon yesterday, and tour guide him around, and yeah, eating good, drinking good the whole weekend, so hard to beat. Been a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I like don't want to go back to work, but that's the way the world works.
Yeah. Is it like have you been doing more like office work lately or more like field work?
Yeah, we're getting into field season come, kind of May, end of April, like into May. We'll be getting into field season, but the winter is definitely more office oriented. And we didn't have a whole lot of snow this winter, which is like bad, but good in the fact that things weren't necessarily shut down, so I could go out to the field a lot more than normal. But it's definitely like, yeah, the past few weeks I've been in the office the whole time, and I'm like going crazy. Especially now that we can't work from home anymore, and we're in the office 5 days a week. It's tough.
Yeah. Did you get any like did anyone get like gutted or anything from like the government cuts?
Oh yeah, we lost like 25 people.
Damn.
Yeah, and I almost got fired. I think I told you about that. Where it was
You
like
told
around
me you were like
Valentine's
worried
Day.
about it, but you didn't really know.
Yeah, I'm still on my probation, so it literally just means I haven't worked for the government for a year.
Oh, yeah.
They give you a year of probationary period where if you like royally mess up, it's easy to fire you. And that was, they called it the Valentine's Day Massacre, where it was something like 3,000 Forest Service employees all got fired because they're still in their probationary period. And I walked into the office, like, and started clearing out my desk one morning because I was like convinced I was going to get fired. And long story short, I didn't, because the argument is engineering is like related to public safety, because we deal with like bunkhouses, the facilities, like infrastructure, and like the roads we manage are related to like fire, because the fire trucks need to take the roads to get to the fire, right? And so stereotypically engineering is harder to hire and retain, and then we're more related to public safety than other positions, and so engineering specifically kind of got exempted from a lot of the cuts, which isn't to say that there's more coming, but it just means that I'm safe for now, which is nice, but also still kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been fine. Like, we're all doing our jobs and just kind of complying amidst all the nonsense, but it's like, my baseline stress has definitely been elevated the past couple months, but that's just the reality of what everything is now. And I could talk for a long time about how bad it is and stupid and yada yada yada, but I've just kind of accepted that it's out of my control and focus on what I can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but with that, I actually have a meeting I gotta get to here, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have to let you go.
Alright, well, nice to talk to you, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much, J-Dog. Yeah, I appreciate the call. And if I have little gaps in my schedule like this, I'm more than happy to try and give you some time whilst you're on stream and hang out and chat with you.
Yeah, totally. I'm glad I got it to work today.
Oh yeah.
So.
No man, I'm looking forward to the next video. I'm curious we should do like a betting system of what the over/under for like what encounter you're gonna get the shiny cut.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Guess
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
I know it really I've gotten like my past couple ones have went really fast, so it really just depends on how long this one's gonna take, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
It's humbling you, or reminding you the everything it takes for shiny hunting, I guess.
I know.
But alright, bub, I'm heading back into the office, so I'll talk to you later. Best of luck. Happy hunting.
Thanks, dude. Alright.
Alright.
See
Love
ya.
you, dude. Talk to you later.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Alright, I'll probably go to like 1950, or maybe I'll go to 2000. I'm gonna get up and stretch for a hot sec. Oh. I need to get up more frequently when I'm sitting down for this long. Oh. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get to 1950 and then I'll decide how much longer I want to go. Because I want a DoorDash at like 5 today, so we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to 1950. Whew. sure it's just placebo effect, but I feel like whenever I have Pikachu in this like little corner of grass, it's like more likely to show up again when I knock it out. I mean, I feel like it's not placebo in the sense that it works, but like this grass in particular, it like always shows up, I feel. It's like alright. Today was probably my best stream yet. Even though no one was in chat, that's okay. But I streamed for like 2.5 hours and didn't have any technical difficulties, so that's a huge W. But yeah, if you're watching, thanks for watching. I doubt anyone is, but that's okay. Still a really successful stream, because I got to chat with Howie and Nate, and I didn't have any technical difficulties, so probably stream again tomorrow, same time. I might go back to Twitch, but we'll see. YouTube, I mean, this has been working fine on YouTube, so, but we'll see. Alright, peace.